Maker's Guide. Hee!
Hey, what's up guys, Mac here playing Trials Fusion. This is the awesome level Max DLC, and in this video we'll be getting the Speedcuber achievement / trophy, which is for reaching the 40th side of the cube on Cubicle space. Now before we get started, a quick shout out to Loot Crate, our sponsor. Feel free to take a look at them if you're interested in a monthly Geek and Gamer subscription box starting from only $13.37 a month. You save a little bit of money and it also helps with the channel, so it's a win-win. Now once you have the awesome level Max DLC, you're going to want to go to Red Links versus All Stars. You're going to want to go to the only skill game, which is called Cubicle Space. And you're going to want to probably select the Pit Viper, although I'm sure it's possible on other bikes. This is probably the only bike that the majority of racers will be able to get. Now I do have some general tips. I'm not going to be going through each little individual level as it wouldn't be very beneficial to you as a viewer. I'm going to be giving you general tips and kind of tricks in order to make this achievement or trophy as easy as possible. Now, this achievement or trophy will require you to be a decent rider. Most medium to hard riders probably will be able to get it with enough practice. So that brings me to my first point. Practice makes perfect. As always in trials, practice, 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 you get better and it's more likely you'll be able to beat it. But I do have some additional tips as well. One very important tip in my opinion is that you make sure you very slowly cross over the horizon of the cube. So as you see this game, the way the game works is every time you cross a face of a cube, the cube flips. But when you cross over from one face to another, I highly recommend that you do it very slowly. You'll see that the cube is also tilting away from you, so you'll want to keep that in mind when you're crossing over. If your cube is very steep, you can kind of get away with shooting yourself up and over sometimes. And you will see me sometimes attacking the horizon of the cube very quickly, but that's only because I have certain levels memorized. If you don't have the levels memorized, I do highly recommend that you go over the horizon very slowly like I just did, and have been doing for a majority of the levels, and you will see me do that more and more often later on. Going over the horizon very slowly allows you to kind of get set for the next obstacle without crashing into it and doing a faceplant as the circle is rotating underneath you. Another thing you'll notice is that as you're progressing across the face of the cube will actually be tilting backwards, so you'll slowly be going more and more uphill. So if you screw up and have to roll back, make sure you're very quick in resetting. If you're not, the track will become so far uphill and such a steep climb that you just won't be able to make it eventually. And my last tip is to make sure that you are confident with your throttle. You want to make sure you're using your throttle. What I always found to be my downfall was that I was too light on the throttle and I wouldn't make my jumps far enough. And that was my mistake. 95% of the time I would fail. It would either be from going over the horizon way too fast, or from not being confident enough and not applying enough gas to get me up a jump. You want to keep in mind that because you're going uphill and the cube is tilting backwards, you're going to need a little bit of extra throttle in order to get you across a jump that you might normally think is a very easy and small jump. But because you're going uphill, you're going to need a little bit of extra throttle. So you want to keep that in mind. Once you get to level 30s, it gets a little bit harder, but practice makes perfect again. Just make sure you're getting all the proper jumps. Make sure you're not going over the horizon too quickly, as always. Make sure your bunny hops are down. If your bunny hops are good and you're a consistent rider, you should be able to get this relatively easily, at least in comparison to some of the other achievements in this DLC. Thank you guys for watching. If these general tips were useful, I hope they were. Feel free to like the video. Let me know in the comments down below what the highest score you got was. And hopefully I see you guys in the next video. Peace.